What do we got here? It's Giordano Trieste Cross. What? Awesome little gravel bike that looks pretty new. Yeah, this is actually a new bike, and we're going to do a review on this awesome out-of-the-box gym. Any case, with my 35 years of being in the cycling industry, we're going to give this a good once-over. Good, bad, and otherwise. Let's check this out. Hey, welcome back to No Guy Bicycles, hanging out with a guy. Hey, I'm Justin the Guy, and we're doing a bike review on a brand new bike. Yes, this particular bike came to me unassembled in a box. What we're going to review is, well, the process of how it gets to you, where it came from, who is making them, and what kind of value you can get out of this kind of entry-level bike. In any case, let's start off with the nitty-gritty. Got the bike brand new from a company called Mendham. They've been established in 2021. The parent company is Kent International. Yeah, you know, the ones that produce a whole bunch of bikes for a lot of different markets. The ones you do see at Walmart, Target, and various other places. But here's the kicker. That particular company is just like other big companies that have a variety of bike lines, and they are basically trying to provide a website for special deals. I want to say closeouts, but kind of closeouts. And they bring the prices way down to where basically they're giving them away. In any case, great value for just getting into road riding, where the big boys have developed pretty much a handicap themselves from providing those entry-level bikes. This is one of those from the Mendham line. They also carry Able, Dessel, Univage, and some various other brands you'll see in there, and they'll cycle through. Quantities are limited on some, but the prices on all are pretty crazy low. In addition to, they will provide free shipping to your location in the lower 48, and on top of that, there is a $75 credit voucher, or they'll rebate you $75 taken to this bike to a bike shop that is certified, insurance, and trained to assemble bikes. That may not cover the complete cost of a lot of bike shops because labor rates will vary, but that at least gets you into the bike shop where it'll be double checked and assembled correctly. How these bikes are put together and assembled and shipped are not the same kind of level as the Trek Specialized and Canyon direct to consumer. Reason being, there's a little more technical need and know-how to assemble these, like a traditional bike shop bikes of pretty much currently. But the newer ones from those companies are actually pushing those particular direct-to-consumer bikes, which are a little less and higher quality and very expensive. Well, with credit back for $75 to have this assembled correctly, you can have some modifications done while you're at the bike shop to fit you, the rider, which actually is a win-win. Shipping to you, lower price service to make sure it's safe and ready to ride for you and fitted, and then you have a price point bike that's way below than any other bikes from those other big brands. In any case, the Giordano is one of the lines that they carry, and this particular model is their gravel bike. There are some features on it which are pretty good, not to say for the price point, not bad at all. You do get the disc brakes, you get the wider tires on that, so you can get up to, I believe, 38 millimeter width on there, on the frame and the fork. Also, it does have standardized parts, like the rear drivetrain is an 8-speed cassette, which if you wanted to upgrade to a 9 or 10-speed cassette, you don't have to switch out wheels. Also, the spacing in the back is designed for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 space for dropouts in the back. Not a through axle, a quick release. This does come with the Microshift R8 componentry, which is pretty comparable to the Shimano Claris, which this model did have those componentry on some of those, so you may get lucky and have that shipped to you as well. Kind of between two different componentry on the same bike from this manufacturer. It does have a standard external bearing bottom bracket through, which is 68 shell. What that means, you can pretty much switch out to whatever crank you want to go with if you want to upgrade it to a 1x or a triple. It is a chromoly frame and fork. It is not the lightest bike out there, but it is solid. It's going to be a great recreational workout bike. It does have your water bottle mounts as well as mounts to the fork, but it doesn't have your adventure riding mounts drilled into the frame and brazons. But for most of us that just do recreational riding for this price point, this will do just fine. But you may say a bike like this or any other ones that come with disc brakes, there's going to be some technical things you need to look into, either assembling yourself or having a bike shop double checking in reference to. There's been an insurgence lately of compressionless housing for brake, which actually improves the cable actuated calipers of this particular bike. Well, that could be an upgrade. Usually the costs on those are not too much, between $20 to $40, somewhere around there. You can have that as upgraded as you're having it assembled. In addition to, the brake pads are pretty general. You can actually upgrade those to the semi-metallic ones, which actually will give you better braking power. But other than that, though, the shifting on it is pretty solid, and the braking out of the box is actually pretty decent. But if you're going to be taking this on a really aggressive riding, which is not really kind of designed for more of your traditional gravel rides like on dirt roads and light trails and your bike paths and so forth, the shifting and the braking will be adequate for you to do those kinds of rides. A couple features of the frame: having the wider clearance. It does have the drop down, which you've been seeing with a lot of different manufacturers out there with the gravel bikes, big brand names. But this has all the features that you would need, and it actually wasn't too bad coming out of the box for my technical skills. Drawbacks on it: it's a little heavy, yes. Number one, probably the weight will probably be a turn off on some people that are avid riders. But if you're actually just recreational getting into it, it's actually a good workout. In addition to the manufacturing on it, the steel, it's not as clean as some of the other steel frames, but it is a chromoly frame. Therefore, it gives you that chromoly steel ride feel. Absorb those bump roads, actually makes it more comfortable for longer riding. It accelerates fairly quickly when I step up on it to get to break in the brakes, and the shifting actually holds up pretty well for the price point, for sure. Coming with a chromoly fork, it has a pretty wide clearance, so you can put a pretty decent sized tire in the front, probably a little bit wider than one in the back, so you can do that old school traditionalist, bigger tire up front, skinnier tire in the back, kind of off-road gravel type riding. The wheels are pretty decent. They did need to be adjusted, but they actually turned out to be very smooth once they were adjusted properly, as well as a headset. The bottom bracket, you don't have to worry about it, but it's external cartridge bearings, so they're going to actually be already preload. Just all the bolts need to be double checked for torque, make sure it's all tight and ready to go for that first ride. For assembly on this, for yourself, if you know what you're doing, minor adjustments, it probably take 20 to 30 minutes. Take it to a local bike shop. They should have it back to you within a day or two. It's not really a heavy lift componentry build. Like the newer upper end bikes, there's a lot of internal routing and so forth. This has the classic look, clean, and accessibility that you too can find this YouTube videos to work on this bike to get up to speed. Therefore, it is mechanic friendly. Since now I went through all the bike little nuances of pros and cons, yeah, decent shifting, great, little heavier, not so great. The wheels are okay, the brakes need a little bit of work, but they are disc and dismount, so if you want to upgrade either the brakes, the drivetrain, or the rest of the bike, it all has standard parts. So with the price point of this bike, is a total win-win-win. In addition to, let's take it for a ride and see how it feels. All right, so this is a smaller frame for me. I'm going to ease into the brakes a little bit. So with new bikes and new brake pads, you'll have to break in those pads. They're not going to feel very responsive right out of the way. And again, like I mentioned before, this particular bike and other cable actuated disc brakes have been recommended to use a compressionless housing to improve brake efficiency. But we're going to see how this is right out of the box before we suggest to the customer if we need to do such a thing. I'm going to check the rear, go down, and then see if my front, yep, jumps right up beautifully. Without hesitation, jumps back down. Got trim both ways on the front. Now I'm going to go to the big in the back. I've hit my 8th gear. Same thing, jump to the big, use the trim, not rub, then knock it all the way down. So a bike like this, new out of the box, will have a little bit of break-in. Housing and cables will possibly stretch at some point. Hint, you have barrel adjusters up front here for the shifting, and you do have them on the brake calipers to unscrew to tighten those cables. Not bad, not bad at all. Not considering the price of the bike, it actually performs just as good as the $500 or $600, $700 bikes with cable actuated disc brakes. So I'd say for a backup bike, this would be awesome, or entry level, just somebody getting into cycling. If it's adjusted correctly and fitted to the person and the bike is safe to ride through a professional mechanic, which they give you a rebate for, it's a win, because a lot of bikes out there, even from bike shops, sometimes still need a little bit of adjustment just to make sure they're right to do what they're supposed to do. Well, to get you into cycling without breaking the bank, this one and as well other ones from Mendham are actually a great fit. Hopefully I'll be able to review a few other ones in different styles of not just gravel, but maybe comfort or leisure riding, which looks like to be more of their forte. But they do have a few upper end of the Dessels, and those will be coming in periodically as well. So great values. I can't say anything too horrible about it. It's actually a good solid bike. It is a little heavy, but hey, at the end of the day, you're out there going to have a good for a ride. It's really about how it fits and how it feels. This is one of those bikes that does excellent for that. So if you can get a chance, you're looking for a new bike for somebody without breaking the bank, check them out on the Mendham Bikes website. Also, I have a 10% discount below you can apply to that purchase. Again, free shipping, assembly rebate, you can't go wrong. Price points like this, it's actually a breath of fresh air. Thank you for hanging out in the garage with me. If it's nice in your neck of woods, please go for a ride and check out these pictures in the beautiful sun. Have a great day.